Live. GM.
GM. Coffee time.
I love that it bothers DK so much if people don't respond GM back.
All right,
If you
let
have
me.
to.
I got a lot of people. A lot of people also had the same sentiment based on that tweet.
I do.
That's probably
I saw.
one of my better performing ones. Yeah, no, I had two calls in the same week. One of them was with a few different professional services brand names that you definitely would know.
Supreme and Carhartt.
No, crypto
Adidas.
brands, crypto brands,
Oh,
um,
Yuga Labs. The
and
only
Little
crypto
bit.
brand.
no, they're not like, you know what I mean.
I
They're
know.
they're tier one
With
groups that
you.
you would identify
Service
even without it.
providers in the
They're
on the
maybe
spectrum of DeFi.
yeah, they they provide professional services, and also you may or may not consume their content regularly. And if you're in that business, then you have to be doxxed, and that's fine. Um, but if you there are some that are like, happy to show faces on a normal like regardless of the level of uh, rapport that you have. So like Cozy and I and Marty, um, we anyone that we have rapport with, we regularly don't have our anatas on. But anyone we're meeting for the first time, or if it's like a public call with a lot of people, or it's being recorded or something like that, then we'll put our anatas on. Nonetheless, the group was mostly anata-less, other than myself. Actually, I don't think they were ready for the anata, so I just kept my profile picture. But
Dude, that's a huge red flag.
anyway, I was the first
You're getting
one
swatted.
Sending in
I
the
was
cops for these guys.
anyways, I was the first one that came on with my not my camera showing, and I said Jim, and everyone just looked at me.
They just looked into the abyss.
Yeah,
It's
they just
Their
like,
hilarious.
screen.
I've never had that
then I had to.
experience where they were like they had to take a step back from it. It's usually that like even the most like suit and tie type of people I've hopped on a call with, um they're usually like, "Oh wow, that's really cool." Like, like it's never like, "Are you going to take that off?"
Yeah, they oh, I didn't share my nada. I don't think they were ready for that. It was just my profile pic. But still, I said Jim, and I just got crickets. They almost gave me a look to my profile picture, almost like they were kind of cringed out by me saying it, and then I had to then further clarify. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to the council. Yeah, they're
You're
like,
like,
this is a
"I
fucking Senate
apologize.
hearing, okay? Do you want to do it right now?
Let me translate. Good
Mhm.
morning,
Mhm.
earthlings."
For those that don't speak crypto, even though they're all crypto firms. And then I had another call later that week in which there were some. It was supposed to be me and this other guy who is a founder, and he's pretty into the crypto space, but he had his new BD guy on, and he was having some issues of joining the call. And the BD guy, I was like Jim, and he didn't really say anything, and then he said, "What is your real name?" And I'm like, DK, and he's like, no, like, what should I refer to you as? What should I call you? What's your real name? And I said, you must be new here. And then I didn't say anything, and then it was just crickets for like 2 minutes. And then
Yeah, it's like all those Microsoft Teams users,
yeah,
It's
and
all
then
those kind of guys.
yeah, then he was, and then the other guy was able to make the call, and then I also confirmed that he was brand new here, so he's got a little bit of slack, the BD guy, because he is new here. But anyways, so that's why I said that, because that's how I felt about those two circumstances, and they both happened the same week. But most calls, 80% plus calls.
I've had a lot of people ask, my real name you know, and I just tell them like it's cozy. I'm like, oh, it's a cool name.
Yeah, dude, we're in 2023, bro. You have to call me as I say,
No,
right?
the thing is, like everyone calls me cozy. You know, like it's
Same
something
here.
that
Everybody calls me
transcended
Marty.
into real life. You know, like it's my username for a lot of other things, and because of that, it's now trans it's now transferred into like my nephews and nieces calling me V Cozy or calling me Cozy. You know, some of my in-laws will call me that because when they play, you know, games with me, I'm Cozy on there. Um, and I've started a little Cozy clan, you know, so it's transcended from crypto. So yeah, when people ask me like when I get on and it says Alchemist Dev. That's why I need the cozy at Premium Blue. So when I pop on these calls, it shows cozy. There's always this confusion. Who's Alchemist? Um, but yeah, I like, you know, everyone calls me cozy. That's what you can call me. I, if my you know fucking nephew that I see once a week calls me cozy, then you, some man from the internet that I've never met before, you can call me the same fucking thing.
Yeah, at least I mean, Marty and I have names that are, believable.
Yeah,
So
DK is a normal name.
People literally just call me Cozy or call me Cozy and Marty, at the same time.
Yeah.
That's just like whatever I'm feeling. No, my brother actually was the fucking barista at Starbucks, dude. I was with my little brother, and she's like, "What's your name?" And I said my real name, and she asked like three more times, and my real name is not that hard, guys. And then the cup came, and it had Marty on it, and I was like, "Well, that's it. That stuck. At least I didn't give myself the nickname. Can't be doing that."
okay, got it.
But that was like
So
years ago, dude. That was like
she
10
spelt
years
your
ago.
name. You gave her your name, and then she spelt it Marty on a Starbucks cup,
On a
and that's where you're like, my name's Marty now.
That was it. Like, my brother since then has not called me my real name, and it's literally been 10 years. He's, I don't know, 18 now or something, 17 now. So, yeah, 10 years.
You see, Cozy came from us being in, I forgot what conference we were at, but I was in New York, and I was like,
Wearing
as
sweatpants.
usual, far outside of dress code to go into any place, but Cozy looked so cozy that they were just allowing me into places. And one of my favorite albums is the Cozy Tapes by ASAP Mob. so, so there's an intro on Lamborghini High where they're just like at a corner store talking about how cozy they are. Like, you know, they got like these knee-high socks on with the holsters and shit like that. And afterwards, they're like, you know, fuck it, I'm cozy. So when people were asking me like, you know, why I was wearing what I was wearing, I just said, oh, fuck it, man, I'm cozy. And at one
Stuck.
evening we were, well, it's stuck because I was saying it as a joke, just like that I was cozy. That's why I wasn't like, that's why I was wearing Yeezy foams and fucking a hat walking into places in a PlayStation sweatshirt. And
Yeah.
yeah, we got into this place, and you know, I obviously wasn't in dress code, and we had a security guard come up to the security guard that was with our group and ask why, you know, they let me in like that, and he said to him because he's too cozy. So after he said that, and we all started laughing about it, like, oh shit, like, all right, that's it now. So we just, I was like, it's cozy now.
And that's it. It's never changed
That's it.
since then.
That's the origin story. Some bouncer called me cozy to defend me being out of dress code, and we thought it was really funny because fuck it, man.
Be
I'm
like, bro, you
cozy.
fucking work here, okay? I fucking own this shit, right? That's what I would have just gone off on him a little bit.
No,
You,
in
you
the
even know who
front,
I
I
am?
asked them. I said, "How much would it cost for me to be in dress code?" And they said 2 bottles, and I was like, "All right, let's go."
Oh, for sure. For sure. Dude, sometimes I just show up in flip flops, bro. Just straight Havaianas, just like Brazilian flip flops.
Yeah, they weren't gonna let that. But I mean, like, I had nice things on, you know. So it's like, even though I was dressed down, like, you know, I, I was
I just
dressed
look homeless,
well.
bro.
Yeah,
Just look homeless.
I definitely didn't look homeless. But I was not in any form of dress code. So yeah, that was the origin cozy story.
Love that.
Uh,
Love that. What's new? What's going on? We had the show on Monday. We just talked video games for an hour because our moderator and curator DK was not around.
Not around to keep us on track.
Yeah.
DK, have you been have you been dabbling any in any new games lately?
No,
No
but
zombies for you? You're not a Modern Warfare 3 zombies enjoyer?
it's been 10 years since I played zombies. No, the only thing that I've been like kind of tracking is that like Star Citizen finally came out of there's feature complete for Squadron 42.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm gonna make
kickstarted
video
that game.
games and everyone's gonna play them.
I kickstarted that game 10 years ago.
Holy shit!
Yeah. And so I mean the persistent universe stuff has been around for quite a while. But they raised like what, a couple hundred million at this point.
Yeah.
Because they just kept on doing additional raises for like the 6 years after the Kickstarter.
How deluded are you?
That's a good point, dude. I went in and checked my account, I don't know, probably within the last year, and I had like 42 different like drops that they gave me because every subsequent raise they would give like, you know, even if you didn't partake in the raise, they would give you like something like a skin or like whatever. I had like all these different add-ons. But I have the first pirate ship that they let out, the Cutlass, and then I have a few like starter ships that have lifetime insurance, and that was like the big thing, right? Is that like lifetime insurance wasn't going to be available when the game came out, so you had to like buy it at a certain point in time. So my Cutlass has lifetime insurance, but yeah, but I bought a bunch of starter ships with lifetime insurance so I could give them out to my friends when the game actually came out, not knowing that it was going to come out, 8 years later.
Mm.
Yep. So that's that should be coming out soon. So that looks pretty good. They have like all, I mean the actors that they have. So the Persistent Universe is the online game, and then they have like a storyline, right? So I don't know if you've ever played Eve,
Mm-hmm.
but Eve is like a spaceship game, space exploration and fighting, and it's got clans and all this stuff. But like the beginning has like a main storyline quest, route. And so like that main storyline quest is what Squadron 42 is within the game. So like they just finished the main storyline quest, but looks fucking awesome. They got a bunch of like good actors in it for the cutscenes and the characters and the voice acting. 10 years in the making. So that's the only thing I've been.
Must be worth it. Must be worth it.
I don't
Careful
know.
there. Cyberpunk was how many years in the making? And
Oh yeah, dude, we got. So we have the announcement next month.
the new
GTA.
Cyberpunk.
GTA.
Oh yeah, they're dropped. We talked about that quite a bit on
Yeah.
the last stream. I'm a I'm a huge GTA fan player connoisseur. Yeah.
I feel like there's some games coming out this month for this holiday season that I was pretty excited for, but I can't remember them now.
It's embarrassing how much money I have in GTA 5.
Dude, I actually got like boosted or hacked lobby on the first time around in GTA 5. So I bought everything, right? And then
They
were
took it
like,
away. Yep.
yeah, no, they took away the money, but you had all the items. So I still have all the cars, the penthouses, all the stuff, but
Yep.
I don't have any money.
I think when that was going on, I got like a bunch of cars. Like I got some cars in the exploit, like all the like rare ones. But I already bought the like nicest penthouse, so I just didn't fucking care. I was like, what do I want these other ones for? I'm never gonna go to them.
Exactly.
Got a bunker in the desert. That's probably my favorite one. There's like, well, not in the desert. I think it's like in the hills somewhere. It's like this whole underground complex that I could like. It's so big I can drive a golf cart around in it. So many
I'm ready.
Easter eggs.
I'm ready
in that
for the
game.
next one.
But
I always buy like the new game and then I never fucking play it. Like I played that Alan Wake game for about 20 minutes and I was like, dude, I don't have fucking time. to play like
We,
100 hours of this right now.
well, it's the story-driven games that like you feel that you don't have the time to play. I think that's why I like shooters because you can get
So
your
easy, jump on, jump
gratification.
off.
Yeah, 10 to 20 minutes. Get your fix, and you could be done if you want to. But like when I was playing Harry Potter, I sped
Mm.
run that thing in like a few days, and when I'm playing stories, I get like locked in because I'm like, I have to get, I don't know if you guys do this, but I make little competitions for myself for like everything I do. It's like you're running outside and you're like, if I don't beat this car to the stop sign, I'm gonna die. um, but with the games, I like have that in myself too, where I'll be like I'll be doing like a set of side quests, and I'm like, okay, I have to beat this much before I turn it off. Otherwise, like I'm just not gonna be able to
Or
sleep
you
tonight.
can't save. There's always some shit like you can't save until the next checkpoint. The next checkpoint's 20 minutes. You're like, fuck, if I'm just gonna play, I'll just keep playing.
Yeah, I wish they would have built out Harry Potter more. It was a pretty fun game, but then it's like you just beat this huge open world, all the side missions, and then there's just nothing to do. You can just fucking fly around and like, still fight random spawn enemies that spawn. I wanted expandable
They
content.
gotta do GTA 6 with Harry Potter, you know? That's what I
There's
was
gonna
expecting, like a
There'll
GTA
be
5
mods.
Harry Potter.
Dude, there are mods that you can fucking put any characters you want in GTA. You can do anything in Grand Theft Auto, especially like in RP, in the role playing one. I feel like DK would be really into that.
Dude, I didn't even notice DK's rack till now.
Yeah, I like that this one. This is like my counter bitch. You know what I mean? Like she's like, if there were a female version of Anata that was like related to me somehow, it would definitely be this one. She's like the inverse female Cozy Anata.
Yeah, I just got it so I could be Cozy's girlfriend online. That's why I got it.
In
I
my
love it,
role playing.
dude. Wait
Right.
till you.
What?
They're asking if you're Brazilian, Marty, in the
Yep,
chat.
yep. Brazilian.
Marty's about that BBB life.
The land of the bees. Brazilian beaches, beers, bikinis, and butts. There's nothing else better.
Booyaka! Yeah, I haven't been to Brazil. It's one of the few places that are, I wouldn't say are on my bucket list, but I've always wanted to travel to. Um, that I haven't gone yet, and it's kind of surprising because I'm one to just be like, oh, I gotta go here. Let's fucking go. But
People think we
I
don't
still
have
need to hit
internet and
a.
shit, you know? Like, people
No, it's
think
not
we're
about
like
that. It's more like
straight out in the middle of nowhere.
when I'm trying to like go somewhere, it's usually like some type of historical place that I want to spend a few weeks traveling around, or a few different sites like that. Yeah, there's some in Brazil, um, but
If it's
they
not like
haven't.
Europe, like, oh, you're
Yeah,
in Italy, you can go to fucking Spain in 10 minutes, you know, or whatever, 40-minute flight, you know,
yeah,
it's not like this
Pistosio,
close, it's a little far.
be stoico. He knows. Um, he said, "Vamos Brazil, hot girls, Marty." Um, yeah, like when I've been in Europe and Asia and stuff, it's usually like I can take a few weeks and there's like a handful of different spots I can go to. And for Brazil, it doesn't trump like Egypt or Alaska yet for me, or Japan. Those are like the three places that I really want to go to that I haven't been yet, and I'll probably try to get those done in the next, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years. It's gonna be hard with the new baby, but
Yeah, it's different when you're traveling with a kid. You're like, oh, I just want to chill at the beach. And you're like, well, you have a screaming toddler. You can't
yeah,
enjoy your
that ain't
time at the
happening.
beach. You know, you have to keep active, you have to do shit.
What was nice in France was that the kids are a bit older, so they were totally happy just like hanging out on the rooftop in the pools all day, and it just gave me the freedom to be able to drink champagne throughout the day in between uh, going to different you know uh, monuments and places of interest with them. We like checked out a few really cool like towns. One was like an old was a city where all the popes, I guess, used to go, like pre-Vatican. Um, so that was kind of cool. It's like a city that
Epstein
was like a bunch
Island.
of.
Oh, okay.
No, this is before I think they got infiltrated. Yeah, it was like this like town in southern France that was like it had like a bunch of churches up on um, the top of these. I don't want to say mountains. They were more like really high hills, but that looked over the city. But it was pretty cool. Like going to visit the old world that was the old world town that was still there, where you're going through like these century old alleyways and walkways and like hidden passages that you can find that kind of link. They're like alleyways within the alleys. um, so it was kind of cool to just explore. It reminded me of like obviously not as as adventurous or scary, but kind of like how people go and explore like the first area of the catacombs, not going too deep. So we're like going inside and underground a little bit of like these older buildings that were put up. And it was where all of the merchants used to travel, when the markets were really busy, they would, take their goods and go through there and come up to where their the backside of their store was. And you could just like run through these when we were there. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm all in to visit. I just couldn't live there, you know? Like it's just too much for me, right? Like my buddy's Roman, he lives in Rome, he's from Rome, right? So he's like, "Oh, I'm never leaving. I love it." And I go there, I'm like, "It's cool for like a few days, but I got to get the fuck out of here, bro. Like I'm good. I'm just there to see. I'm not here to stay."
What are the things in Brazil outside of BBB? Maybe that's it.
Hmm.
That make it like the place where, you go to Rome and you're like, this isn't for me. Like, not all the time. I like to visit and go back. And like, what is it
Yeah,
in
I'm a fucking weird.
Brazil?
I'll tell you, I'm a fucking weirdo a little bit. Uh, I don't like natural disasters, so we don't have in Rio specifically. We don't, and I don't like sharks. So in Rio specifically, we don't have sharks. We don't have
Really?
earthquakes. We don't have tornadoes. We don't have volcanoes. We don't have. I guess there's always the tsunami risk, but there's it's like
I was gonna say
the last
tsunamis and
wave.
sharks.
Yeah, the last wave to hit the road, because Rio's like a beach to hit the road was 2 weeks ago, and before that was like 70 something. And it was just like, a wave that came up and splashed up. So every 40 years there's a little bullshit wave that comes. Not like a tsunami, like Japan or something like this.
Yeah.
So Rio has all that. We have, the mountains meet the ocean. So that's why I specifically like Rio. If you want to go to the mountains, there's no snow in Brazil, but like foresty mountains away from city life, it's like 45 minutes up the hill. You can go to Petropolis, Teresópolis, and they have all the breweries, all the colonial mansions, all that laid back life. If you want to go ski, you go 2 hours to Argentina. If you want to go to North Brazil, there's all different kinds of animals and jungle and Amazon, of course, that you can go see. But for me specifically, Rio is the natural disasters thing and the no sharks because I like to
Uh,
surf. I like to just go to the beach and blend in.
you know that there are sharks in Rio though, like bull sharks. There have been great white shark
Hard
sightings.
sharks.
Yeah, there are tons of sharks in
Orcas,
Rio.
orcas.
You know what I think
There's
it is? I
orcas.
I think it's like when I was in Vietnam and I was asking about spiders and sharks when I was at
Mm.
the beaches. It was almost as if they didn't exist, right? Like the people just pretended like, no, no, what are you talking about? There are tons of fucking sharks in the water out there, right? And the spiders there are insane. Like they're so fucking big. They're like these mutant things that hang off
It's
of
like
all the
DK, bro.
electrical pyres and yeah, it's literally
You're
like
talking about my
DK's
kin. You watch your
avatar.
mouth.
Yeah.
They just hang from like the telephone poles, electric wires, and they're gigantic. Like when I first noticed it, we were driving in a bus on the way to or like a van that we had rented on the way to a city, and I'm just like looking out the window up at all the power lines running along the road, and I see these like things that are kind of moving, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And as we slow down a little bit, I see that they're just like thousands of these gigantic spiders that are, moving across that. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like how does anyone just like walk
How
around
are
with
you
this
guys
shit?
living here?
So I just
No, we
asked
have
if any of them were
sharks
dangerous.
in the state of Rio, but in the specific city, there's not. When you go 2 hours north, there is. When you go 2 hours south, yeah, for sure. And there's like an island that I'm sure if you go take a boat out, you'll see some. But like in the actual city, there's not. If you go to North Brazil, you're totally fucked. It's like
Where
the
is
Caribbean, Florida.
Pernambuco or Buco?
Hmm. What are you saying?
Pernambuco.
Is that like
Pernambuco.
Pernambuco
Yeah.
is
Where
North
is
North
that?
Brazil. North
Okay.
Brazil.
That claims by far the largest number of shark attacks within
For
Brazil.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Probably like ever. Like North Brazil is like the Caribbean, right? So you have Florida, Texas, Gulf of Mexico, like the same body of water, basically, right? So you have that Suriname up there, you have all these other countries, and it's hot as fuck. The water's like a hot tub, and the sharks just chill.
Beaches of
I swam with
Recife.
sharks
We have
once. It was an
penguins.
accident.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. We have orcas and we have penguins.
Mm.
I'm down with that. Penguins are fucking
Mhm.
funny. Have you ever watched any documentaries on penguins and like how they interact with one another? They're
I've
like
seen that Happy Feet.
no,
Mm.
you got to
Yeah.
watch the ones that like
What's
that
that one? The
you got
National
I,
Geographic Planet Earth.
no, I'll find it. There's one where there are a few different documentary series that are kind of like this where there are scientists that study these animals and they go there like to their habitat and they live there for like decades.
Are we
Like I
talking
saw
like
one called
emperors, or are we talking like the more summer South African Brazilian ones?
We've
these
had those
ones
little fuckers.
were this one was in I want to say the South Pole maybe.
Yeah, so we're talking about those
Or is it North
emperor.
Pole? Wherever the fuck I thought it was South.
Wherever
Um,
Santa is, bro.
but
Yeah.
yeah, all right, so maybe that's North Pole. But either way, I watched this thing on them, and the way that they interact with one another is very much like a human society. And they're like shisty. They're ones that like are deceptive and
Yeah, they like
steal and
steal each
like
other's eggs. They're
steal
monogamous.
each other's wives. Like they
Dude,
do like they're really like interesting creatures to pay attention to. And yeah, this documentary was hilarious because it was showing that, like DK was saying, they plot out. It's not like they just like see an opportunity and instinctually are like, oh shit, hey look, there's an egg, let's go steal it. It's like they plot it out for like a few weeks. It's like they'll
they're like
see that,
psychopaths.
yeah,
I
they're
think
total psychopaths.
it might be these penguins that like sometimes they'll replace the egg with like a snowball
Rock.
or like a rock snowball to like try to confuse them. Be like,
Yeah, they do all sorts of crazy shit, dude. And like you said, DK, they're monogamous, but they, cheat on one another and there's same-sex relationships that
mm,
they've seen taking place, and there's all
they're just
sorts of like
hedonists. They're just hedonists, is what they are.
Just be
how do we
humping,
find out
bro.
about Senko? Uh I follow a lot of I don't know, Sanko crew. I've been following all the Milady stuff for a long time. So I guess when you're kind of like in
Yeah,
that
we saw pop
circle,
up. I saw
the,
pop up. I
the
spent more time
builders on
actually looking
Arbitrum.
into it. Yeah, during Step, and then I saw that Blaze was a part of it, and we've met Blaze in IRL. Um,
Yeah, Blaze Bison, one of the OG based community members, an OG ghoul, we'll say. Um, we saw was the one of the largest
I don't know if
shareholders, and he
he'd
was
like.
also shilling.
I don't know if he was a ghoul per se, but
No, no, I'm saying part of the community. I said just an
yeah,
OG ghoul, like part of the base community.
dead devs.
But but yeah,
Dude, we should go to
we
Comic Con
build
as
on
Anatas, bro.
I would. We build on
Ooh,
I'm
Arbitrum, so
talking
we
to
see like
Hounds right
the
now.
community.
I'm just pushing Hounds. Like, what the fuck, Hounds? He says he got married, and I said, congrats. Don't care. No, just kidding. No, just kidding.
Don't care.
all right,
Where's
let's
my
talk
data?
crypto stuff. 'Cause I gotta go in 15.
All
So,
right. What's been happening, DK?
all right, talk
Talk
to
to
me
me
about
nice.
what's going on in DYDX land.
Oof.
DYDX
Well,
is all in one day at a time. They made a half a yard in fees, and now we're giving profits to stakers. Seems a little late, But
I think
it
the
ain't easy.
There's
contentious
something else. Yeah, there's some
the
contention
contentious
going on.
part is if your DYDX is vesting, you can still stake it. And I think they're like about to hit like a huge unlock over the next few years.
Yes,
too.
they are. So
And so it's like this wave of tokens that are becoming on the market so like they haven't returned anything to the current holders.
Yep.
And then they're also saying that, well, if it's vesting anyways, you should be able to stake it. And on top of that, there's like this massive unlock happening. So it's just
I'll give you a little TLDR.
It's just business, you know what I mean? Just business.
Yeah, we already got paid. Fuck you, you know.
So
this is my generational wealth. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, they're like, is it just a coincidence that after 3 years of taking hundreds of millions of dollars in fees all to themselves, that giving $0 to DYDX token holders, it's a coincidence that they decided to graciously transfer all the fees to token holders just a mere 2 weeks before their own tokens unlock that represent 80-something% of current outstanding circulating tokens. And then to add insult to injury, they're allowing lock tokens, like DK said, to be staked as well.
Yeah, they can't wait. They can't wait the next 4 years. Like maybe a few of the tokens get unlocked over the next 6 months, but I gotta start making that. I gotta start getting that perpetuity today. You know what I mean?
I'm wondering if this really dwarfs kind of the narrative that's been flowing around DYDX, because there's been a kind of big push on the like revenue side of this. The DYDX is like token holders will get from the platform, and how it's like extremely undervalued at the moment. And I feel like this is kind of
telling you it's undervalued too. If I was that, you know.
No, it's not them. You know, like from smaller, not so shilly research kind of accounts.
There was a lot of VC money went into DYDX.
Yeah,
a lot of tier 1 VC money went in. So like they gotta get paid on that investment. It's been a long time. So like I get that. And hopefully it brings those LPs want to reinvest into the ecosystem, because it'd be good for the ecosystem as a whole. Maybe not for DYDX holders though.
Yeah, so just ride the fucking momentum. You know, it's up 10% today. It was up.
Take the hit. You know, take it for the team. You gotta take the hit for the team, guys.
Yeah, but just don't chase. Just don't chase too much.
Well, it just seems like the sentiment is not changing.
I'm a roll bit maxi with this NFL season and now NBA. I'm a roll bit maxi.
Oh my god, roll bit, not stake.
No, coins. I'm not a gambler like this.
Okay.
No. Stake is a roll bit competitor.
Yeah, stake is their competitor.
Yeah,
so
but I'm saying a token, just stake token.
I wasn't talking tokens. I thought you were just sports gambling, and I was like, oh, rollbit? Why rollbit over stake?
No, just the token. Like my left curve was like NFL season buy rollbit. That was it. That was literally the play. Why? That was it. That was the thesis.
You know, I shared one left curve play with all of my left curve friends, and it immediately would just started getting like nuked. 2 hours later, I was up 2x. Like I shared it with them. It was up 2x. I took a shower, came back, and I was down 50%.
Fuck yeah. I had a normie buddy. I had a normie buddy that told me, "Oh, dude, I think I'm gonna buy Solana at whatever it was, $20."
And you talked him out of it. You fucking asshole.
Yeah, and I was like, "You're a fucking idiot, bro. Like that is the stupidest shit ever." And now he's like, "Fuck you. I'm never hanging out with you ever again. You're an idiot."
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, sorry guys. Like my risk tolerance is way different than yours. Yep. And I'm betting.
Yeah.
I'm not betting with next month's mortgage payment, right? So like, I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna tell you yes or no. You're an adult. All right, we got another big thing that came out yesterday. I don't know if it's big or not, but
it's big. I think it's pretty big.
Wait. I'm talking like institutions are coming.
Okay. I was talking. This is an Arbitrum kind of big thing, but yeah, I know what you're about to go and do anyway. So.
Oh yeah, so J.P. Morgan and Apollo, which is like a massive fund manager, which I remember when they came to crypto, because I had a tweet that was like, "This is actually like pretty big. Apollo's like massive," but that was like 18 months ago, I think. But J.P. Morgan and Apollo are kind of joining up forces with Axelar, and I think AVAX is the chain that they chose to use.
That's why it's up 20% today.
Yeah, that would make sense. To use that to kind of do the tokenized assets, and then you also saw like every bank and their brother has got a tokenized asset platform now, like even down to like Standard Charter. They all got tokenized asset platforms. And you know who also got funded for tokenized asset platforms is Robbie Leshner with Superstate. He's got his I think it was Series A.
Really?
Yeah, I think 14 million in a Series A. But he was like, you know, I'm done. After post compound, he's like, I'm done with DeFi. So,
yes, done with DeFi.
You still see him around, dude. He's always at the conferences.
I see him quite a bit. Yeah.
I swear, 2 years ago he used to roll with security. He doesn't anymore.
I mean,
Next year
smart.
I'm going to do Singapore. That's my only conference next year. No security.
Well, no one knows what your face looks like, though.
I'll meet you. You know, you're like, if you come with security, you just fucking put a target on yourself. So like, who the fuck is that guy? And if you just show up cozy, then nobody gives a fuck about you. That's kind of my motto.
The Circle guy rolls with. I mean, most of the big guys roll with security. The Circle guy rolls with security. Brian rolls with security.
If I were known, like more known, there is zero chance that I would not have security with me going out and about.
There's zero chance I would even go outside, bro.
And it's not because I think I'm important, like whatsoever. It's just because like you're broadcasting to the world that like I deal with assets that are volatile and probably have made me more than the average person. Like, here's what I look like if you want to come find me and see how much you can exploit me for. That's just me like being hyper paranoid, but I guess when you
can do the Vitalik strategy and sprint to your stage that you're speaking on, and the second you're like, okay, done, sprint off stage before anyone can realize that you're actually done, before you finish like the actual breathing out the word. And then you're
Dude, it was hilarious that he literally just mic dropped and ran off the stage. It's like, what the fuck?
I think he did the same thing at DevConnect when he did his plasma speech this week.
Everybody's in Istanbul, right? Istanbul.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go. Imagine the smell.
I spent 2 weeks there. I'm good.
Yeah, everyone's over there right now, except for us.
Fucking
I was not
get out of your house.
About to make that trip. Sorry, not sorry.
We have direct now. We have direct to Istanbul from Rio, so that's nice. But I'm good.
There's not enough drip coffee in that region of the world to convince me to have come after the amount of travel we did this year.
Dude, Turkish tea's pretty good, dude. I'm a fan.
I love it. That's why I said.
Don't drink the last sip. Don't drink the last sip.
Yeah, true.
Is that disrespectful?
No, it's all the fucking leaves or all the coffee grinds. If you're having the coffee, don't drink the last sip.
I thought you were saying it as like a ironic thing, like they had like some rule there, like it's a cultural rule.
No. All right, we got 2 more things. So,
Soylana.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's part of the second thing. So Nocturn launched today. Along many moons ago, I think it's so funny when there's someone like a Vitalik or Arthur that like write a post about something. They're like, we could do this, and then like someone starts a company that does this. Right, it's like a flare gun directional thing. It's like this would be really cool. So like the plasma, article that he put out this week. We're probably 3 to 4 months away from some plasma, plasma chains to roll the spin up in the next for next conference season. But Nocturn was an idea that Vitalik kind of put out there between using like mempool and account abstraction. Not the alt mempool that the entry point uses for account abstraction and privacy. And I'm going to probably botch this a little bit, but it's pretty much like Tornado, but account abstraction wise. and yeah, and they launched today. I think I don't entirely know how it works. Like how I'm assuming it's similar to a Tornado Cash, where you put some money into a big pool, and then you essentially can use some like either ZK or something, the same thing that how they used to give you a private, like a little key, and then you would solve a proof, and then by having the solution of the proof, you could instruct where the money came out of the Tornado Cash pool. I think it's kind of like that, but you use account abstraction instead. So instead of a relayer, you're using account abstraction as a relayer, which is pretty much, I think, the same thing. But they launched.
So are they going to have a field day with that? Are the feds going to have a field day with this again? Is that where we're headed? Just Tornado 2.0?
It depends on how they're thinking. Like if they're doing it like privacy pools, privacy pools makes it so if you are a sanctioned account or interacted recently with a sanctioned account, you cannot actually interact with privacy pools, where they essentially like quarantine that cash so that it doesn't corrupt the rest of the people using the privacy solution. But privacy pools, like, it's
too small, dude. I need
an alpha
deposits.
It's been an alpha for like 9 months now. I mean, it's been an alpha since ETH Denver, right? And like it caught a lot of attention again recently, and I went to the site and it was like still like 0.1 ETH beta testing on Optimism, and it doesn't look like, and like all their docs are like incomplete. It doesn't seem like anyone's really working on it. I don't know if like they got they got a notice or or what, but I also know that the guy who did privacy pools is starting up like his Spank chain porn stuff again, so maybe he's focusing on that instead.
He's been stirring up a lot of controversy as well, given that
Gaza.
Well, it's not just that. Even before that, he's one who like really tries to stand on the hill of these are permissionless systems and should be accessible to everyone in the world, no matter where you're located. He's very vocal about that. So I imagine that given his stature and involvement in kind of crypto, that probably has some eyes on him. Not only for, taking part in the building of privacy pools, but his very vocal stance on a lot of touchy political, you could say, matters.
Remember when he had his like cuckoo arc around the base time frame?
Yes.
Like the very end of the base time frame, he used to write some he used to have some late night threads that were
questionable
off the wall. Yeah, that were interesting. Definitely interesting.
Makes sense.
All right, last announcement, Premium related, not financial advice. We all contribute to Premium in some regard or another, but we're launching our steps
middle
today.
name is Premium.
You say your middle name is?
Yeah.
I know you got that Premium tattoo.
Yeah, it's right above, on the left cheek.
Yeah.
Just so it's there forever for me.
I know, but you used the old logo, which I told you we were going to.
Yeah, it was V2. It was V2.
Anyways, STIP allocations going out for ETH, Wrap Bitcoin, ARB, call and put pools. So that's going out today. We're not incentivizing the other pools quite yet. We're just kind of getting the big pools starting. And then just the vault allocation, right? So if to recap, we have 900K in total, 600K is going to vaults, 200K is going to incentivize market making activity, and then 1K is for partnerships. And so we will be doing a trading competition at the beginning of December. And so we're going to be waiting to incentivize maybe some of the smaller, like the GMXs and the Magic pools.
Yes! However, so it all starts on the first week?
So yeah, so we're going to start teeing up some liquidity to come in on the major vaults. So like the ARB, Bitcoin, and ETH call and put vaults are starting today. And we are also launching a Sol market today. Yeah. So you can trade Sol options on Arbitrum. It is the same wormhole bridged Sol that is used within GMX. It is the same Sol that is used within Camelot that they are incentivized as of yesterday. So some of the ecosystem players are starting to, if you can't find stuff to do with your Sol on Solana, well, you can easily bridge it over to Arbitrum and start playing around with all these different projects, DeFi project Arbitrum. All right, so we'll have an options market. There's a DEX. There's a perp market that all kind of supported as of today. And so trying to get some capital to move over. So we'll be incentivizing. We're launching the vault today. We won't be incentivizing it till mid-December.
Calling all manlets.
Those manlets.
We see a lot of it's definitely like from the outside hate, but it's like that there's nothing you can do on Solana with your Solana outside of like stake and lend your Solana. So now you'll have a plethora of DeFi applications to use your Solana with.
Yeah, hell yeah! Tap into the ARB community with your Solana. We'll take you. You can hang out with us.
We're more than happy for you to come vacation over to Arbitrum. Play around while the casino's got specials and rebates. And I'm not talking premium, I'm talking Arbitrum. And when you're done, with all the casino games, GMX, Camelot, Premia, it's fine if you go back. If you want to stay, we'd love for you to, but we understand,
Play in our sandbox, Pims.
Arbitrum has nice beaches, but they, I don't know. It's hard for me to think of something good that's in Europe, so I was trying to think of what
they're going to come and they're never going to want to leave. This is just the beginning too. We have the nicest beaches. You're not going to want to leave, right?
I hear that mad lads are coming to Arbitrum.
Is that
so
true?
There's no. There's no reason for you to stay on Solana after that.
No. I would have believed you because other NFT projects have made themselves omni-chain or allowed themselves to have new collections of themselves minted on other chains. I thought the way Pandas did it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I actually liked how they did theirs because they made a certain allocation of the supply mintable on each of the supporting chains. And I think so did the Ghostly Ghost by Layer Zero. And if you couldn't mint them on different chains, then they changed color. No, I think you could. I'm pretty sure that like there some metadata that lets you know like the origin chain of them. But yeah, I like that kind of shit. I think it's cool.
Right, is that it for the day?
GM butt plug.
2 p.m. GM.
That's all I got.
Outside of Solana on Arbitrum.
Hidden Hand.
Hidden Hand, yeah. I was gonna say we got one more thing coming up. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Still doing a little test and prod. But we've got Hidden Hand bribes coming to Premia. So if you are a protocol looking to jumpstart a new market, you're just a whale who wants to incentivize the pools that you're in to get more emissions your way, we'll have a Hidden Hand market up in the next few days for you. Be exciting. We'll drop an article, little course to get you up to date on how that all works. But stay tuned.
My body is ready.
All right, I gotta run.
This it's gonna be a fun couple weeks with all of the protocols launching their STIPs.
Yeah, dude, Arbitrum is already fun. Like last night was the first time in over a year that I'm like depositing in one protocol to borrow one token to deposit it in an LP somewhere else to do all this daisy chaining, DeFi, Lego stuff. It's been fun. It's been a fun 24 hours.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
have
do that
another
today.
couple weeks.
You got to get in early, Marty. Early bird gets the worm.
You're not first, you're last.
All right. It's been fun. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Sanko, as well as on Twitter, Twitch. We'll be back on Friday, same time, 11 a EST. We're lazy, so maybe 11:15. I don't know. But see you then, pimps. Later.
Later.
Adios.